Edmond had always been a master of language, able to craft phrases that would stick in people's minds for years. His talents had made him one of the most sought-after copywriters in the industry, and his clever taglines had helped to build the brands of countless companies. But as time went on, Edmond's success began to take its toll on him. He found himself surrounded by people who admired him for his talent, but who never challenged him or pushed him to grow. They were content to bask in his reflected glory, and as a result, Edmond's mind began to stagnate. He stopped reading, stopped learning, and stopped pushing himself to be better. Instead, he spent his time drinking with his friends and basking in his own success. Slowly but surely, he became dumber and more lethargic, his once sharp mind dulled by complacency and contentment. One day, a new client came to Edmond's agency with a difficult challenge. They needed a new campaign that would capture the attention of a younger, more digitally savvy audience. Edmond was intrigued, but as he sat down to brainstorm, he found that he was struggling to come up with anything fresh or innovative. He tried to shake it off, but the creative spark that had always been so easy for him to summon seemed to have deserted him. In desperation, he turned to his friends for help, but they were no help at all. They simply shrugged and told him that he was already the best in the business. As the deadline loomed closer, Edmond began to panic. He knew that he was capable of great things, but he couldn't seem to access that part of himself anymore. He felt like he was drowning, and he didn't know how to save himself. In the end, he managed to cobble together a campaign that was adequate, but it lacked the spark and creativity that had once been his trademark. His client was disappointed, and Edmond was left feeling like a shadow of his former self. After the disappointment of the lackluster campaign, Edmond took some time to reflect on his career and where he wanted to go from there. While he had always been a talented copywriter, he realized that his strengths lay in a different area now. He began to focus on his management skills, working with his team to guide them and help them grow. He found that he had a talent for bringing out the best in others, and he took great pride in watching his team succeed. As he transitioned into a management role, Edmond found that he was happier than he had been in a long time. He no longer felt the pressure to constantly come up with new ideas, and he could focus on developing the talents of others. And despite his loss of creative spark, Edmond's reputation in the industry only continued to grow. He was known as a fair and supportive manager who could get the best out of his team, and his clients appreciated the consistent quality of his agency's work. In the end, Edmond realized that his career had taken an unexpected turn, but he was happy with where he had landed. He had found a new passion and a new way to use his talents, and he was thriving in his new role. He never forgot the lessons he had learned about the importance of challenging oneself and never becoming complacent, but he also recognized that success can take many different forms. And for him, being an excellent manager was just as fulfilling as being a brilliant copywriter. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribe to be notified of freshly baked, frightfully generic stories.